Basic Math, Chapter 18, Section 5, Solving Equations with Multiplication and Division. To solve equations with multiplication or division, you need to undo each operation. Look at the example below. 6 times 3 is 18, divided by 3 is 6. 6 divided by 3 is 2, times the 3 is 6. So we can see the symbols are flopped. Let's look at example 1. Solve 2m equals 10. And remember, when you have a number touching the variable letter, that represents multiplication. And that's what it's reminding us right here. Step 1, undo multiplication with division. Divide both sides of the equation by 2. So 2m divided by 2, 10 divided by 2. Simplify each side. That's just going to leave us with m equals 5. Check your work. Replace the variable of the equation with the solution. Was 2 times 5 10? Yes. To solve an equation that has division, multiply. Remember, a fraction like y over 3 means y divided by 3. The number on top goes in the shop, and the number first in a division problem goes in the shop, in the division box. So you can show division by either showing a fraction with the thing getting divided on top and the number doing the dividing on bottom, or you can show division as a problem with the numbers side by side. So here they're showing division as the fraction, which will be more common now. Y over 3, or y divided by 3, equals 7. Step 1, undo the division with multiplication. Multiply each side of the equation by 3. So here they put the number, or the variable first. Y is getting divided by 3. This is the same thing as this. To undo dividing by 3, multiply by 3. And then do the same thing to the other side of the equal sign. 7 times 3 is 21. Check your work. Replace the variable in the equation. So if 21 was divided by 3, is that 7? Yes. Solve each equation. So for number 1, we've got 24 equaling 4 times c. And like we just talked about, we can show division as a fraction. So if we just divided by 4 like this, it is like showing a division problem that looks like this. 4 times 4 is 1. When you divide a number by the same number, the answer will always be 1. That's why this works. So 4 divided by 4 is 1. And if we wrote 1c as the answer underneath it, like that, that's the same thing as saying 1 times c. And remember, 1 times any number is that same number. So 1 times c just means c. So we don't actually have to write that 1c. We can just write c, because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get the variable all by itself. That's the whole point of this. And remember, when you change one side of an equal sign, do the same thing to the other side. So we divided 4c by 4, divide 24 by 4, and that gives you 6. If we replaced the c with 6, then that means 4 times 6. Is that 24? Yes. So now we have number 2, m over 5, or m divided by 5, equals 4. So if we multiply by 5, we multiply both sides by 5, then we're going to get just m. But we can make this a little bit more expanded to show what we're doing. Let's clear this up. Is it working? Oh, can't erase it. All right, I'll do it in red then. All right, so m over 5 times 5. So if multiply by the whole number 5, we could put a 1 underneath it. And now we can cross cancel these 5s by dividing each one by 5. And that's going to give us 1, and this will give us 1. So now the only thing we have is m times 1, so we get our 1m, and then 1 times 1 is 1. If we put those numbers in the shop, we could divide 1 by 1, and that leaves us with 1. And then just like we did over here, 1 times any number is that same number. So we won't need to write 1m, you just write m. So that's the full explanation of why this works. So now we have 5m times 5 leaves us with just m, and then 4 times 5 is 20. And if we wanted to check that, we could replace the m with 20. Now, is 20 divided by 5 4? Yes, it is. So, check. So that's the full explanation of how it all looks like when we do all of the math with all of the explanations of where the ones go and why we just get the letter, the variable, and how to check it. So let's do a couple more quickly, and we can see how it works without this extra showings of things. So we have for number 3, 4n equals 20, which means multiplying. So the opposite of multiplying is dividing, and you divide by the number that's with the variable, in this case a 4. Do it to both sides of the equal sign, and you're just left with the variable on one side and the answer on the other. Now, if we did 4 times 5, we would get 20. So that's how that works. And then number 4 has k divided by 8 equals 18. So we multiply both sides by the 8 that's with the variable. We'll be just left with the k, and then 8 times 18, was that 146, I think? I think so. So that's the idea of how we do our equation solving when we have multiplication or division. Algebra can be used to represent everyday situations. Tasha is twice as old as Barbara. Barbara is B years old. Which expression shows how old Tasha is? So she is 2 Barbaras old. So which one of these show 2 Barbaras? Barbara plus 2, Barbara take away 2, 2 times Barbara, or Barbara divided by 2? It would be 2 Barbaras. Tasha is twice as old as Barbara. Barbara is B years old. Tasha is 20 years old. Which equation shows this relationship? So 2 Barbaras equal 20. So do one of these show 2 Barbaras equaling 20? Barbara plus 2, Barbara minus 2, Barbara times 2, Barbara divided by 2. 2 Barbaras equal 20 is right here for C. So how old is Barbara? To find out, solve the equation 2b equals 20. And so we will divide both sides by the 2 that's with the b, and then b will equal 10 because 2 times 10 is 20. So Barbara is 10 years old. So that's the idea. If you'd like to practice for the next couple, there are some more real-world practices for 4 and 5. Please go to your workbook for Chapter 18, Section 5 and try some more practice. And of course, let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.